Almost forgot to record, but welcome back to Golden Horde. I'm actually starting westernizing, and we are in 1785. The reason for this is basically that they changed the westernization mechanic in Art of War. Now it cannot go lower than 5 points a month, which means that I actually can complete it within the given time. Of course, I decided to do some quick fire getting out of a war here, due to the fact that, due to conversion to Art of War, wars that I was winning by a wide margin, suddenly turned to losses due to the battles. Basically, Castile here, for instance, I lost a battle against them, had to release Georgia, or I lost the war. I basically want to get out of the war so I could start the westernization process. But anyways, Castile got plus 40 war score from battles that, as far as I can remember, was about 1,000 men on each side. Basically, colony battles where Ottomans were involved. They got a lot of free war score, same with the war that I had with France over colonies. So I basically bailed out of both of them. It didn't actually pay off. And for some weird reason, Castile and Brazil got these two for free when the game, started over again. As you can see, even Portuguese Brazil got a province here for free in places they should not have provinces at all. So that's kind of a weird one, but it is what it is, I guess. Not everything can be perfect. But yeah, that's basically it. What I'm going to do now is basically westernize with the Golden Horde, hopefully very quickly. And as you can see, I've done quite a bit of conquest this last time. We have more or less taken complete control over Muscovy, pushing them away. I'm also kind of relying on Muscovy taking Japan so I can, well, vassalize and release Japan. And Ruthenia, Ottomans, Egypt and Yemen are my vassals, so I do have a fairly strong setup as of now. Portugal wants me as a rival, so it's not surprising. I'm basically the only thing that's keeping me behind here, not giving me the first, is the fact I have a crappy diplomacy score thanks to, well, like behind diplomatic tech and also not really taking too many, well, diplomatic ideas. But we aren't actually going to start messing with this right now. There's no reason for me to do anything like this. We're basically just going to focus now on getting the westernization done, which will be done in 15 years. So I'll get this done. It'll give me another achievement, hopefully. And I think just for funsies, we're going to form Persia after that, because, well, it's fun. That's all that matters. We also could potentially go here for the Mughal Empire. Just need Central Doab. I believe this might be an achievement. I'll consider what I'll do, but anyways, there's also a possibility or positive now. You don't actually get an extra stability cost thanks to the westernization, which is wonderful. But I might go for another war here against Vinaggia, just basically taking Central Doab, which unfortunately is their capital. But we'll see what I do. I might just go for cabinet, vassalize. I do earn more than enough points to actually pay my way through this and still earn points, so doing a little bit of conquest is not really out of the picture here. So I'm going to be sending some forces over there and we'll probably fight Vinaggia. As you can see, I have declared war on Muscovy, and with Egypt, Korea, Ottomans, Ruthenia and Yemen on my side, things are going to get a little bit interesting here. So what I think I'm actually going to do is take an idea, because I am getting a ton of diplomatic power. We're going to take the cabinet idea here, which gives me another diplomatic relation, and with that diplomatic relation, we're going to lose an army apparently. Well, that's kind of bad. It's a 12,000 man army that I lost, so not ideal, but it happens. At least war score basically doesn't actually matter now, at least in converted games in Wars to Start. As you can see here, the battles. The last battle there didn't actually matter at all, which is kind of surprising, but all in all, battles seem to be far less important than they used to be, and you might argue that is a good thing, you might argue that is a bad thing, but if it's just in the converted games, I guess I can, to some degree, well, tolerate that, but it's kind of a weird one. Anyways, hopefully here I can get turning the tide, and I'm a little bit unsure if there's something, an achievement with Japan. If there is, I'll probably manage to get that too. Before we end the game, I'll have to see, but the goal here is actually to fight off Muscovy, basically conquer or siege everything they own, and then go after and then go after everyone else. As you can see, there's still a ton of years before even any one of these will actually rise up, thanks to, well, first and foremost, legitimacy loss I just suffered. I suffered legitimacy loss, so the third legitimacy, that is, as a side effect, if you will, from the what should we call it, from the westernization. And of course that's not a good thing, but it's what happens during westernization. It's kind of a lot easier than it used to be. So far I've had one resist uprising or revolutionary uprising. No, they're not called revolutionaries, are they? They're called something, and I've had one of them rising up. As you can see, my national unrest is at minus 6.25, even with the Western influences. I can get this up to 7.25 with the help of another stability point. And if I get legitimacy up full, of course it's going to help my national unrest even more. So already I have a ridiculously low national unrest level, mostly due to this guy. So I really need to live for a long time, but as you can see here, he will still at the very least live for 3 or so years. So it's not something that I need to be, well, worried about at this stage. So for the time being, we'll just focus on dealing with Muscovy best way we can, and we should be well in a definitely a demanding position here. They don't have anything to stop us with, and the westernization attempt is going forward rather rapidly. Basically, what's going on right now with the westernization is I'm back to my stats early game with a terrible ruler. For instance, I now get 3, 6, 5. So it's basically what you would expect early game to be with a poor ruler. So I've actually lost a 24,000 army right now, and this is why I love the templates. You can actually create your armies again pretty damn easily. Unfortunately, I can't remember what the correct template is for this, but I believe it's something like this. We'll put it over 12 provinces. It's my 24k army setup, if you will, and it's basically, well, the basis of my armies. And luckily enough, with the templates, I can just press like this, for instance, like this, and they will create that army for me where I want it, where I specified it, etc. Real simple. Now, this one is one of those more annoying rebels because, let's face it, during westernization, the fact that I have to revert my forces to deal with rebels is kind of annoying. But with a huge, basically having most of Asia under my control, it becomes even more excruciatingly or annoyingly annoying due to the due to this sheer sizes of the rebels, but also of course the fact that I have to gather my forces from more or less all across the lands. So again, it's kind of an annoying scenario, but it's better than the earlier westernization. What I basically have now is a system where, well, the rebels are more hard hitting, but they rise up not as often, which again, something that I am in favor of. It makes them dangerous. So I'll just go ahead here. We'll keep on battering. Well, this was kind of a bad time to get this. A new sultan, a new heir to the throne, and of course the stability drop is a pain in the arse. But again, diplomatic power is at an all-time high, so I can definitely use vassal and release to my advantage during the time to come here, and we'll adopt the title of Khalifa. We'll have the announcement of sex practices, and we'll definitely stand behind the Islamic Center of Scholarly Learning, which you can see it gives some strength to missionary and cheap technology and ideas. All in all, a really useful thing to have. And luckily enough, as you can see, my national unrest went a little bit up, even though I did lose a stability point. And now it's 316 years until I get rebels causing issues. But as you can see, by having a unified army, I can easily deal with these guys, and my manpower gain. I lost half a month's worth of manpower. It's not something I even need to consider when it comes to dealing with these guys. But as I said, the goal for this war is actually to force Muscovy to hand over, well, a ton of provinces. That is basically the gist of this. And again, with the diplomatic points that I am currently gaining, I can most likely force them to hand over the entirety of Japan back to Japan. And as you can see, I can do that. All I'm really missing here is some war score. And of course there are some rebels here too, which are actually rather useful because it makes it a little bit cheaper. But we are going to attack Japan as soon as my fleet is done. and it's actually done. So I'm going to send a 24,000 men army to Japan to deal with them. I believe they haven't westernized just yet. No, they're still Chinese. So sending one army should be enough here, and I can afford a general, a fairly good general. Hopefully I can get the general achievement also done before the series ends, but I'm going to attack Japan and vassalize them now. Well, remember what I said about rebels being dangerous? The Japanese really, well, makes a point out of that. I think after a couple more sieges we will be able to vassalize them. Muscovy is actually, well, willing to give up what I want, so it should be really easy right now. All I really have to do is siege, and then we're done with these wars. There we go. As you can see, Japan will now accept vassalization, and the aggressive expansion penalty is pretty damn high. But let's face it, due to my conquest in the conquest, yeah, I know. Due to the conquest that I did earlier, it doesn't really matter. And as you can see, I'm basically getting 2 full-size vassals here for the price of 1, so I can live with that. I'm not going to take anything else from Muscovy at the current stage because I have no need for it, and I don't want to jeopardize my westernization, especially considering how close we are to, well, finishing the achievement, which of course makes it even, well, less desirable to mess up. But what I think I am going to do now is actually go for an annexation of, well, both Korea and also Ruthenia. I think both of them have more or less played their role. Oh no, I'm just going to go with the eastern, so just Korea at the current stage, I think. Should be fine. I can't sacrifice too much diplomatic power. Now that I think about it, it wouldn't be too prudent of me to do that, so we'll be a little bit careful here. Korea, no thank you. I have low legitimacy, so I will not be accepting any royal marriages. We already have some provincial unrest here thanks to the issues, so we're just going to wait now 8 years until the well, westernization is complete. This is the second reactionaries regiment that has risen up, so again, as I said, they're not really a huge threat, they're just annoying. But in this case, I think they might actually be capable of sieging something before I can get to them. As you can see, it's already pretty damn low. So I'll have to see if I can actually get there in time before they siege it. I'm a little bit unsure if you lose some progress if they do, but I'll probably figure out during this war. So, or during the westernization, if you will. So I'll just get to it. There we go, we have been fully westernized, and with that we actually got the achievement Turning the Tide. Now there aren't a lot of time left before this game ends. I'm not going to be doing, well, a lot of messing around. I can, however, found the Indian Trade Company, and, well, this is a bummer. I thought I could now create a trade company, but it seems that I can't. Which is too bad, because there's an achievement with that too, but doesn't matter. Instead, we're going to create 500 heavy ships, because it's fun. And unfortunately, also with my westernization, my limits went down quite a bit, so we might as well start investing in tech. As you can see, it's fairly cheap, to be perfectly honest. I get another good idea, enlightened despotism, allows bureaucratic despotism. And, well, for now, this is one interesting. 2-decker, travel cool. Naval maintenance increased by 25%. Probably not the best idea I've ever had then, so I think we're going to leave, well, diplomatic thingamajig where it actually is, because potentially I have no idea if I actually need to, well, upgrade my navy. I do have the money for such a endeavor, but I don't know if I want to. That is the biggest question right now. So for the time being, I'm just going to create 500 heavy ships. And, well, once I'm done with that, I'm going to get back to you, but basically I think I'm also going to go with trying to annex all my vassals. Shouldn't be let's face it, it shouldn't be too much of a problem per se. And I think the rest of my diplomatic points is actually going to go into that and basically unite, if you will, my lands. Of course, it's going to be tremendously expensive on the diplomatic point front, but I think this is something that we can live with. So for the time being, I'll be creating heavy ships, and we'll wait for the game to end, see if we get some lucky achievements by then. There we go, the Grand Armada has indeed been completed, funnily enough, and I'm currently going 81 Ducats minus. You can see the fleet costs 580 a month just to keep up and running. So, and seriously, this is a fleet that's mothballed, which is basically a very cheap way of storing a fleet. As you can see here, I'm actually making a little bit of positive money right now. but it's still ridiculously expensive, and as such the units, 450 ships, just gone. But yeah, I think I'm just going to wait now until the end of the game, and we'll see how everything stacks up. I think we're going to leave it here because there aren't any more achievements for me to get here. I'm going to annex Egypt, the Ottomans, Ruthenia and everyone, and basically get a Grand Golden Horde. I've also managed to climb up now to the first place due to me, well, building trade protection ships. Should have done this ages ago. But basically, now I've had the time for it. Basically, I felt that they were unnecessary for the wars, for instance, with, well, Europe. And of course, I could have basically placed them so that they would. I believe there is something here where you can just press it, and then they'll run to harbour during war. But we have done well with the Golden Horde. We got all the achievements that I wanted. Kind of lucky with turning the tide, thanks to them changing the westernization mechanic. But it is a lot better now, and I think it actually more or less favors you depending on your playstyle. For instance, here I've built a Golden Horde that is inherently very, very stable due to the fact that my national unrest can get all the way up to. Let's see if everything. Let's remove the advisor. So then we're down to minus 1189. And then we can take 1 point legitimacy and another point stability. So basically, what happens here is that my national unrest will be at minus 12 most of the time, which means that I won't actually get into any trouble with, well, more or less anyone. As you can see here. This one is kind of a weird one. Apparently I can't decrease the autonomy in Kuznetsk because it is a, well, apparently seems to be a colony of some description, which is a little bit weird. But, hey, it is what it is. And unfortunately it doesn't seem like I can get the achievement to have 0% unrest, 0% autonomy in 100 provinces. Because I definitely do have that. But we'll continue with Friesland. So I'm a little bit unsure what I'll do next, but I'm thinking perhaps a second try at Jihad. We'll see. Anyways, feel free to come with your praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and I'll see you around next time. I kind of forgot to check. Did I get? No, as you can see, I still keep my Muslim units. I have no idea if I actually have to do something here to, well, upgrade to Western units, but it doesn't seem to be possible. Might as well do this for fun's sakes. Persia has re-awoken, and with that we get again some pretty interesting ideas, but nothing major really. We already have everything that, well, Persia would grant us. So this is the end of the Golden Horde, quite literally, and well, we should have a lot of fun in the next game. I'll see you around. Bye.